All right, we need to talk about, speaking of protecting yourself, this is a different form of protection. It is from scams. I mean, I swear fraudsters are getting savvier and more savvy all the time, especially when it comes to social media. And that's why we've brought in Juliana O'Rourke from the Better Business Bureau. Thank you, Juliana, for joining us this morning here in the Live Impact Studio.
Yeah, it's great.
This is an interesting one because we were talking off the stream here about, you buy something and you either really love it or you really hate it, or you're feeling kind of mediocre about it. But people don't really take to social media until they feel one way about it. And that's when you need to think twice because there are these, scammers waiting for you to post and air out your laundry?
Yeah, pretty much. So we kind of know that, anytime you buy a product, maybe you have a service from a company, you either leave a review if you're super happy or you're very upset, but also people go to social media because they're hoping to get the attention of that company, right? So they post their experience, they're trying to get the attention, they tag the company, and then all of a sudden they're starting to get responses from those particular companies' quote unquote customer service accounts. And so this is what we want people to be careful of because a lot of times these are fake accounts and they are scammers. Crazy. And they're just trying to get your information and possibly your money.
So what are they saying then?
Yeah, so basically they're pretending to be the customer service for that particular company, right? So whatever you bought, whatever the service you had was. And so really what they want to do, like any other scammer, is get your personal information. Mm-hmm. So maybe they're going to tell you, here's a link, click on this link to get support. Well, don't ever click on a link if somebody is sending it to you and you don't know who they are, first and foremost. Also, never give out your personal information because they're going to want you to verify who you are, right? So, anytime you call to get service with some company, especially if you've had an account with them, made a purchase or something along those lines where you've logged in, they're going to want you to verify. So they're going to want you to say, hey, first and last name, maybe your address, phone number. So now you're starting to give a scammer a lot of information that they need to either steal your identity, try to hack into your accounts and steal that kind of information. So we just want people to be very careful of these accounts when they're tagging companies or businesses for the service or product that they bought if they're not satisfied, because a lot of times they're fake. And so some of the recommendations that we're telling people are be cautious of the accounts that are responding to you. We know a lot of the platforms have these verification procedures that are paid for, so definitely take a look at that. Look at the handle of the social media account that's responding to you. Does it make sense for the company that you've tagged? Does it sound right? Also check the history of the account that's responding to you. So most of the time these customer service accounts they've been around for a long time if they're a legitimate account. So go through to see what kind of posts do they have, what have they been doing? Are there grammatical and spelling errors? Mm-hmm. Are they just using a lot of stock photos? So being cautious of all of those things can hopefully put you in a better position.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's really it's such an emotional thing to say if you have a bad product, you just want to take to social media, you post a thing, you get a response. It's like, yes, someone heard me, saw me, I'm going to hit this button right away.
Exactly. And so what we're also seeing is you might actually get responses from multiple accounts. And so that is going to be a huge red flag first and foremost. If there's more than one account responding to you, most companies aren't going to have more than one customer service account. So definitely take that into account as well. And just be really careful of anything you're clicking on. If you are, really upset and you need support, reach out to the actual company. Go to their website, see what their actual contact information is, see if they have social media accounts directly linked from their website, and that will help you protect yourself.
I mean, knock on wood, I've not had the situation where what you're speaking of, this latest scam, and that is what I like to do. I mean, you really got to get me riled up if there's some bad customer service or bad product, and I will hit the X, Twitter, whatever, DM of said company. Yeah. And many times I do get a response going directly with that business.
Yes, so it's one thing to go directly to them. It's one thing to just post and tag them, because the posting and the tagging is obviously public for a lot of people to see, versus if you're just direct messaging that company, then you're not asking for somebody to actually, raising your hand, reach out to you. You're doing the reaching out. So we would recommend that definitely over just posting and trying to get, somebody to reach back out to you.
I mean, everyone's posting their vitriol anyway.
Yes. It's 2025.
I know, it's horrible that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it takes so much more energy if something is really good
Yes.
to post something nice.
Exactly.
I heard that it's easier to critique
Yeah.
or criticize than praise, but that's good, just to be your own advocate and really look for those red flags.
Exactly. So, and the last thing that we would recommend is if you're having an issue trying to recover these accounts, whether it's a login, you're having issues getting a login, getting access to your account, you should never have to pay to recover any type of account. So there's also scammers out there that are going to say, hey, we're a recovery service and we can help you, but you have to pay us. So that's going to be another red flag. You should never have to pay to recover any kind of account. So be very careful.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
I know.
I paid
know.
$100 and now I got to pay another $50 to get this
Exactly.
fixed. Juliana O'Rourke, making us a little bit savvier when it comes to our social media posts and scams and things of that nature. Appreciate you.
Thanks so much.
From the Better Business Bureau here, representing North Carolina, Western North Carolina.
Yes.
All right, and you were here during Helene.
Yes.
And
Yes.
what happened to you?
Yeah, so during Helene, I mean, of course, we got all the storms here in Charlotte, but Western North Carolina was obviously pretty devastated, and we were not prepared. Nobody was prepared.
Right.
And so after all of that happened, we did our best to put out as much information as possible on how to be safe, things to watch out for. You know, there's a lot of fly-by-night companies that come into town when things like that happen, and they do, as sad as it sounds, because you already know these people are devastated, losing their homes, being flooded out. But there are companies that are going to try to take advantage of these people, which is the worst of the worst, right?
Ugh, terrible.
You've already hit them once. Now we're going to try and hit them again with these scamming companies. So some of the fly-by-night companies, they pop into town, they go door to door, they say that they can work with your insurance company, pay 50% now, you can do the rest 50% later. If you do hire them, make sure you have contracts. If you pay them, you know, be careful, because a lot of times they take your money and they run.
Yeah.
So just be very cautious with stuff like that too.
Right, and they're probably still doing it
Yeah.
6 months later.
Yeah, and it happens. I mean, anytime there's a major storm, it doesn't even have to be to the extent of a hurricane. Anytime there's a major storm that has some damage, especially to, you know, your roofs or just structural damage to your home, you want to be on the lookout for anybody that just shows up at your door.
Good reminder. Juliana O'Rourke, thank you again.
Thanks so much.
We'll see you soon.
Yeah.
All right.